Pick up the jumping knee. Rolling elbow. Look at this. Oh!
The end of me, all the things that I could be. This is the end of you. After all we've been through, this ain't the end of me. All the things that I could be. This is the end of you. After all we've been through.
Steve, 10 little push ups.
I'd rather wake up next to a stranger than wake up next to you. It's your weekly routine.
Alright.
Welcome everybody to the 45th episode of PWF is War. I'm joined here today with a couple of my buddies. I got my friend Adam. We got Doc Gallows in the house tonight, Piero, and it's going to be a great show. Tonight is WWE fan questions. We're going to go over some rumors, a bunch of stuff to go over. I like to point out before we get started, we have our new intro. As you guys can tell, that is not the new PWF is War intro, but the new Indie Wrestling Fallout intro. We'll be debuting that show on July 12th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time with our first ever guest, you guessed it, Thrasher, one half of the legendary tag team, the Headbangers. His partner Mosh, unfortunately, could not make it to the show, but one half of the tag team will do. These guys are still tearing up the indie scene, and we're definitely interested in getting a couple words and hearing their brain shout. So as for tonight, we have a lot to go over, a lot of fan questions coming in. First, make sure you guys subscribe to PWF is War on YouTube, or you guys could follow us on Twitter at PWF is War. Like us on Facebook at Podcast Wrestling Fallout. You guys want to plug yourself before I head back to myself? Doc Gallows, the one and only, the one Billy Gunn. How's it going, man?
It's going good. Yeah, you guys can just follow me on Twitter, BrickBall60, and I'm going to be doing an interview with Alexander James on June 18th, so be sure to check that out.
And Piero, if you want to plug your stuff, anything you have to plug?
I got nothing to plug.
He's a lonely man, everybody.
Look at him drinking over there.
Very much respect. Thank you very much for Piero to coming on the show tonight. We're happy to have him, and he's a great addition to the team. We're looking forward to working with him. Adam?
Yeah, what's going on? Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Yeah, we're like switching seats here. What's going on?
Why you took my place? I think you're drunk or something, just like Piero over there. But yeah, it's strange not being the host, but hey, it's good. Taking a break, you know. But of course, as you said, you can follow us on Twitter, PWF is War, or you can follow my personal account. Hey, first time ever, Captain3Awesome. Follow me if you want.
Awesome. You heard it from them. You know, follow him on Twitter. Do your thing. You know, subscribe, of course. You know, and most importantly, you know, stay tuned because you know Thrasher. He's a very credible name to have on our show. It's the debut of Indie Wrestling Fallout, and you know, I'm very humbled to have him as a guest. So you can follow me on Twitter if you'd like. You know, I don't like people, but if you like me, add me. Follow me on Twitter at _Arabian Wolf. You can add me on Facebook at Paul Jaser. And you know, we're gonna jump right into this show. And you know, balls to the walls. Lay your cards on the table. You guys got any questions for us? Shoot right now. What do you got, Adam?
Let me just get the fan questions.
Oh, delay of game, 5-yard penalty.
You just give it to me first. I was like, come on, man.
Very spontaneous.
Alright.
You know? So it's going to be unpredictable. You knew that was coming.
I know. Alright, here's the first question from the group. Broadcast Wrestling Fallout. Make sure you join. It's from Daniel. He says, who should replace Seth Rollins in the Shield? And he picked either John Morrison or Dolph Ziggler, Santino Marella, and John Cena, but that's his opinion. One of those guys he would choose. I think we kind of discussed it before in our last show, but I mean, who would you? So I pick mine. So
yeah, I would say you know give your point of view on his picks. What seems realistic to you out of his picks, and what you think is most likely to happen.
I would say Dolph Ziggler, because I think we already discussed he would be a perfect fit as he's been involved with the Authority, and he had a match recently with Seth Rollins, best match on SmackDown. I would choose him. That's one of my reasons. Santino Marella, he said even if he said if he's repackaged, but even Santino Marella, come on, he lost so much
It's
credibility.
far gone, I think.
He's not the right guy for it, no. Just he doesn't suit replacements from Seth Rollins. You know what I mean? He doesn't have the high flying moves, but and he said John Cena as well. I mean, he's never going to turn. But I don't see John Cena joining the group. No, he's solo. He's not going to join anybody. So. Unless he turns heel, and maybe one day he might do the NWO, but I doubt it. But and I think he said the last guy, John Morrison. I mean, he's not even part of WWE, but maybe it'll work. But I think the realistic one, I'll go with Dolph Ziggler as guys.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good to me. You know, it is hard to decide because there's really three ways they could go with this. They could add a new member to the Shield. Another way they could go is they could split up Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose and have all three of them run as singles competitors. And, you know, there's three different options to really go with. There's so many different avenues to explore, and you know everyone's awaiting the final decision. So I'm excited. We'll head to Piero. What do you think about it? Do you think any of his picks are realistic? And what would you choose?
The only one I find realistic is the fact that it's Dolph Ziggler, just because of what's been happening in the last couple weeks. How Triple H has been making him face certain people because of what he's been saying. Also, you know, it's never going to happen. Also, with Kofi Kingston saying stuff, and then Kane coming out, chokeslamming him, then you having to face people. Any of those two choices could be relevant, but the realistic aspect of it is I could see, and no one wants to see it, and personally I don't, Daniel Bryan being there just because he's been having problems with them for the last year, and he could lose the title, and then by some way Triple H screwing him, and then having join them just to get back at him. So it's either that, or you call up a guy from NXT. The only one I can see that is Sami Zayn. So that would probably be a good pick in the eyes of he has the same credibility as Seth Rollins if he's been around, done this, done that. So I believe, honestly, my number one pick would be probably either Sami Zayn or Dolph Ziggler in the mix.
Yeah, that sounds good to me. You know, and like I said before, you know, the only third thing they could do with it is, you know, there's an ulterior motive to the Shield. There's an interior thing, and you know, somewhat similar to the Bray Wyatt Daniel Bryan thing, where he tries to destroy them from within. You know, given it didn't work out for them, but you know, there could be an interior motive, and a lot of fans are speculating that at the moment. So, out of those three options, it's going to be one of those things. So we're going to see a 33.3% chance for any given one. Billy, what's your take on it?
The only one I see really realistic is Ziggler. That's it. Santino's a jobber. John Morrison's in the Indies right now, and I don't see him come back anytime soon. Right. So, yeah, pretty much Ziggler's only realistic, and Sami Zayn would be...
What about John Cena?
Fuck John Cena. Yes, he would bury fucking Seth Rollins in that storyline if he was in there.
Be careful, C-Double's watching.
Yeah, C-Double is definitely listening.
Yeah, C-Dub, you hear this? Fuck Cena!
Oh, man. A warm welcome from PWF is War and Doc Gallows. But, you know, heading back to me really quick, you know, I'll elaborate really quick on it. You know, John Morrison isn't going to happen, even though it would be cool. I agree. I'm a fan of John Morrison. I'm a fan of his work, and, you know, guy's athletic, he's talented, and I think he would fit the mold of the Shield given his ability. Because, think about it, whoever's coming into the Shield, if they do go with that angle of a new member, you have to fill Seth Rollins' shoes, and given he's only been mainstream for about a year and a half now, those are some pretty big shoes to fill considering what the Shield has done. But, you know, overall, I don't see John Cena happening. I don't see John Morrison happening. I don't see Santino Marella happening, even though he is a great wrestler. Most people don't know that. But the only realistic thing I see out of those four picks, you know, no offense, it's just my opinion. The only realistic thing I see is, you know, Dolph Ziggler. And honestly, Dolph Ziggler, in my opinion, is my number one pick. Number two would be Sami Zayn, and number three would be the unpredictable, spontaneous CM Punk return. So out of those three, if they do go with a new member, those are the most likely in my book. So on another topic, Adam, you got another question for us?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, it's from the group again. CM Styles. Yeah, CM Styles. Who
Motherfucking
asked,
Styles.
Oh, I'm not going to do him like what C Double does. No, not that intro. Which you can find CM Stars at Destroy Kayfabe.
That's his key
Key
plug.
plug.
And we can talk
Uh,
wrestling, C double.
And the question was, yeah, well, C Double you can find him at Open Wrestling Talk. There you go.
All right.
But the question is, who is all gonna be the predictable for the WWE and the World Heavyweight Money in the Bank, and who will be the victor of the match? So, who's the choice? Who's gonna be in it, basically, and who's gonna win it? Outcome. So.
Well, you know that's a good question, honestly, because if you look at it, the only people that are confirmed as of this time is Del Rio. Even Cesaro, being considered a favorite, hasn't been confirmed for the Money in the Bank ladder match. If Daniel Bryan does surrender, and that's the direction they decide to go with it. So as of right now, those are the only two names we know, and the Money in the Bank match is usually about 7 competitors in it. So it's really hard to decide. But Dolph Ziggler already being anteed off, pushed off the cliff, losing to Del Rio.
Yeah.
It was a good match, by the way. So I don't know. Cesaro's the favorite, and he has Paul Heyman by his side. He has the momentum, and even coming off a loss at Payback, in my opinion, I don't think he's doing as much as he did before he was with Heyman. I believe he's getting a little overshadowed by the Brock Lesnar and the streak thing that Heyman has to cover for Brock Lesnar for, because he's not going to be back for a little bit. So I feel he is getting overshadowed a little bit, and he's I felt like he was doing a tiny bit better on his own. No shot at Paul Heyman, because Paul Heyman's my favorite manager of all time, so I'm not being biased by any means, but as of right now, I guess I'd have to say Cesaro. I don't like swaying with the fans and going with their idea, but that's really all I know of is him and Del Rio, and I pick him over Del Rio, of course. So we'll switch it up a little bit. Adam, what do you think?
Well, I think who's going to win? I got 2 guys in my mind. I'm going to say Cesaro, because there've been really rumours about he's going to be the favourite. Pretty much him and Seth Rollins, because now he's joining with Evolution. I've seen a picture of him holding the Money in the Bank. I don't know. And he's got, and I think he's going to be a main eventer. So I think it's between Cesaro and Seth Rollins. Who's going to be in it in the Money in the Bank? Del Rio's in it already. He qualified. He beat Dolph Ziggler, which sucks. It should have been Dolph Ziggler, but because Del Rio is going, we know, next month. I don't know who else would be in it. I think maybe I wouldn't be surprised if Randy Orton is in it, trying to help Seth Rollins. But I don't know who else will be in it, because
I think they're gonna maybe put Rob Van Dam in it.
But he's feuding. I thought that, but I thought he's feuding with Barrett, isn't he? So.
Yeah, but that feud's not going to go much longer. I really don't see it going any more than it already has. I see it kicking off maybe into Barrett Cesaro or something of that caliber. No one can really say as of now, but
yeah, pretty much. Or maybe even Kofi Kingston might be in the mix.
Yeah, they're gonna. They're always
he's like he does those special spots. So.
Right, yeah, exactly. They're always going to throw a couple enhancement talents in there to bring up the quality of the match. So I'm all for it, and whoever gets that big push, hopefully it's someone that deserves it for once, and
Yeah.
Okay, so we haven't really seen someone win a Royal Rumble in a long time that deserves it. So, but on another topic, that's a different story for a different day. We'll jump to Piero next. Try and stay on topic tonight. I'm really not that good at it, but I'm doing well so far. So Piero, what is your take on it? Who do you think is the favorite to win Money in the Bank? And elaborate on a couple of picks that you think might be in the match.
Seth Rollins, hands down. He's not it, but he will be in it.
Personally, I'd love to see Seth Rollins in it.
Yeah.
He's definitely going to be in it. It's no-brainer. Because now, what's he going to do? He can't. It's not like they could throw him and Randy Orton in the mix to go after the Usos for the tag team. Because there's no even attempt there. So he's going to be in it. Orton's going to be in it. Del Rio's obviously in it. They'll throw Kingston in it. And they'll throw the Big Show in it because for some reason they like to have big guys in a ladder match.
Or Mark Henry. Yeah.
That too. And I think coming out of retirement, I think they'll throw maybe a Hacksaw Jim Duggan in the mix.
There could be they could throw a surprise in there. WWE's been pretty unpredictable lately, so I wouldn't put it past them to do something like that. And if I don't know, what do you
Choose Piper.
Maybe a surprise return.
You should keep Piper.
Mr. Fozzy.
If it was my choice, I'd have a regular Money in the Bank match and have Piper at ringside with a microphone just talking shit the whole time. Talk about enhancement talent. That's it right there.
Exactly. Well, I'm not him win the Money in the Bank if he's something first-time legend.
If Seth Rollins is put into the Money in the Bank ladder match, you know, I think fans might feel it's a little predictable. He's gonna, you know, come out with the win and come out with the briefcase. But you know, we'll see what happens. You know, there's a lot of time to see. You know, as of now, it's rumored that it's gonna be Dean versus Seth at Money in the Bank. So neither of those guys are gonna be in the Money in the Bank match. So if it plays out, you know, we'll see what's gonna happen. But we'll head over to Billy. What's your take on it?
Yeah, I see Seth Rollins winning, and I see. Okay, Dario's in it. Probably I see Cody Rhodes, Cesaro, maybe return to Y2J, and probably throw in Kofi, and maybe throw in Bo Dallas. I don't know. Just have him his first loss. There you go. Give Bo Dallas his first loss.
Well, technically, he wouldn't get pinned, but yeah.
But you lost. You lost, okay? It's a loss. That's it. No matter if you get pinned, you get submitted, or you lose in a 6-man, a triple threat, fatal 4-way, still lost.
He wasn't pinned.
Who would want him in there?
Oh
if
my
on
God.
We don't want to believe. We don't want to. No. We don't want this. We don't want this.
I just want someone to give him a good ass whooping.
I don't care who. I prefer Roman Reigns just spears the hell out of Bo Dallas 100 times. That's alright for me.
I just want to change it up. I have a new pick.
Alright, go ahead. Go. Alright then. Go.
Take out that big guy. Add Rusev.
Wow. Yeah.
You could have Rusev in the mix. I just realised that.
But it all depends where Rusev's going to go from right now. You know, what fusion he's going into.
Yeah, because he's just squashing everybody. He's not really. He had one feud, and I was like short feud.
Rumored that he's supposed to be feuding with Cena, but I don't know if that's what's happening right now.
Yeah. You know, I think
It's too early. It's too early for Cena.
I think Rusev would be a great addition to the Money in the Bank match. You know, coming off the victory over Big E, you know, they relegated him back to squashing jobbers, and they haven't had anything for him since then. So, you know, putting him in that Money in the Bank ladder match is, you know, it's a fast-paced, aggressive match, and it's, you know, one time a year, and fans really look forward to it. So, you know, there's 7 guys in the ring, and you're definitely going to stand out when you're someone who's getting looked upon as a, you know, a top-tier guy in the future. So that would really give him some credibility, and that would really like make people look at him. You know, even though he's a heel, casual fans he might not appeal to, but to the hardcore wrestling fans like guys like us and the other shows, you know, people are going to be like, look at this guy. You know, he is as good as they say he is. You know, in my opinion, he reminds me of Umaga a little bit. So
Yeah. Hopefully,
it's a good opportunity for guys like that upcoming on the roster that are just pulled from developmental, fresh on the main roster. I would love to see it. We add a good element to the match.
Bank I've ever seen in my life. All I'm hoping for.
He performed well in the Royal Rumble, so I'm all for it. Him and Big E had a good match. Given they were a victim of time constraints, I wish they had a little bit longer. They would have done well with it.
Yeah, they're just bored with him right now. They have nothing for him, so he's just doing absolutely jobbing. That's all people are doing against him. Coming in and destroying people in like 10 seconds.
Yeah. You know, they're building him as that, you know, that all-powerful heel. You know, all hail to me. You know, he's the beast. He's got the gorgeous, you know, man ballet by his side, and
she's mine.
Expect all the jobbers are small little guys. There's no big jobbers. Like,
who cares?
No big guys.
He's not racist. Come on,
Big E jumped the Rusev payback, so I guess we could put him in that category as of now.
There you go.
There you go.
I think that really killed Big E's momentum, honestly. Even though he was coming off a title loss to Bad News Barrett, he still had some momentum behind him. But after that, it completely killed all hope and glory for him. But you know, let's jump into the next question and see what we got.
All right. Waiting for me, or?
Yeah, you said you had 3 questions. I was gonna knock out your.
Yeah, it's from the page, from my WWE News and Rumors page. Yeah, bit cheap plug there. I think one asked, when will Randy Orton become a face?
Well, he turned heel. He turned heel. How long ago was it now? About a year ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like SummerSlam. He turned heel.
So far, he seems content in the role he's playing. There's no animosity between him and Triple H. There's no dissension within the rings. He's kind of a, you know, so to speak, the internet fans call him a lapdog. And, you know, figuratively, he kind of is a lapdog when you think about it. But when is he going to turn face? It's really up in the air, but it could happen soon. It could be a swerve, but I don't really see anything like that happening with Orton anytime soon. In my opinion, I see him staying heel for at least another 6 to 8 months. What do you guys think? You care to elaborate on that?
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't see any conflict with Triple H. There's no tease of him turning face at all. He's just sticking with Triple H as a lapdog, as he says. He would just kiss his ass. So I don't see him turning face, and I don't want him to turn face because we know last time, when he's been a face, he was so dull and boring. I couldn't stand him. Great wrestler, but I just couldn't stand him as a character. So keep him as a heel. I think but yeah, I mean, I think he had his better days as a heel, but still, I think he's just better as a heel. He's a natural as a heel to me. He's a Viper.
Yeah.
Vipers are not good guys. Come on, it's a snake.
I agree with you. WWE said it themselves. If you went into a video game and you wanted to create a wrestler, Randy Orton is the guy you could create. He has the look, he has the talent, he has the athleticism, he has everything you would ever need in a wrestler. And in my opinion, he is underrated, and in my opinion, I think he's been underutilized. Not so much underutilized, but not used properly. He's been somewhat hanging on the pants of Triple H, hanging on his tights, and just going with the flow and standing back. And I want to see him break off on his own again, because if we look back at his Legend Killer days and when he was first starting out, man, that guy was interesting as it gets. I loved the gimmick, and as we saw, there was a thing going around online that Undertaker wanted Orton to be the one to end the streak, and out of respect, Orton turned it down. And if that's true, I find that I really admire that.
Yeah.
What do you guys think? That's pretty cool, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I would.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't really want to see him turn face, so I hope that guy just changes his mind. Unless he hasn't seen him as a face, then...
I'm just glad Orton didn't break the streak.
Could have. I heard that
at the timing and the momentum he had, it would have felt appropriate. Fans would have reacted, negatively anyway. No matter who beat the streak, whether it was Punk, whether it was Lesnar, whether it was Orton back in the Legend Killer days. So either way, you're going to get grief from them, and you're going to get negative feedback any day. But we'll jump over to Pierre. What are your thoughts on Orton? Do you think he's going to become a face soon? Is he going to stay a heel? What direction are they going to go with him?
Let's see. July 17th, 2016. Face turn. Got it. Remember that date.
Thank you for reminding me, Pierre. Thank you.
Yes, you will.
On the metaphorical timeline. Okay. And Billy, what's your take on it?
I don't see him turn face. I see him just staying heel for a little bit. Because his 2011 to 2012 face was just dull, and they kind of didn't use him right at that time when he was a face. He was kind of losing a lot of matches and stuff. He was kind of neutral then too, if you were to look at it. So.
Yeah, no doubt about it. All right, we're gonna jump real quick. Let me pull up my Facebook tab and see what questions I got.
There's one more question I got on my page, but okay.
You have another one?
One more last one.
All right, we'll jump back to you. I'll hit one of mine in a second. I'm sure the fans are waiting.
Can't maybe wait for me.
All right, we're gonna get a little off topic here. We're gonna jump to the indie scene, if that's all right with everyone. This is open wrestling discussion, and I kind of almost said CW show, open wrestling talk. So if you guys want to check them out,
this is open talk wrestling.
We already gave him a plug.
I'll give him 7 plugs. He does a great job on his show.
Yeah.
CM Styles and Destroying Kayfabe. Keep plug number 2.
Great guys. Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna head in from Jeremy. We've had this question several times before, but we'll answer it again since this is a question show. From Jeremy113 on Twitter, who is the most underrated, underutilized superstar of all time? I'm guessing he doesn't mean just WWE. I'm guessing he means just wrestling in general. If you guys, what do you think, Billy? We'll start with you.
Yeah, I lost.
Probably Owen Hart was underrated. He wasn't used right. He could have been the great WWF champion at the time. I would love to see him have a tall run, but unfortunately he died, which was sad.
Yeah, it was.
I'm sure a lot of people can agree with that, no doubt about it. I will jump to Piero next. What do you think? Who's the most underrated, underutilized wrestler of all time?
He's
He's like, no, I'm not answering that. Bye.
I gotta tell you, man, the look on his face was priceless when it froze up. I'm sure it's happened to me. I like to know how he jumped back to the call.
He looked like, fucking.
what the hell? Oh, I'm going. I'm taking the ball. I quit. PWF.
Let's give it another shot. Let's jump back into the realm of unpredictability. Pierre, are you there, buddy?
Yeah, man.
Go ahead, man. Who do you think, in your opinion, is the most underrated, underutilized wrestler? Doesn't have to be current. Doesn't have to be present time.
Let's see. Yeah. I'd have to say. Now, I'm not gonna go with an obvious answer like Dolph Ziggler. I'm gonna go with Kingston. He can be a good. He has skill. I'm gonna go with Kingston in that one.
I agree. You know, he is overlooked far too much, and you know, some people might find him dull and cliche, and you know, repetitive, as some people would call it. But you know, just like Punk said before he left, you know, he goes out there and he does his job, and you know, whether he's happy about it or not, he has to work with what he has. It is his job at the end of the day. So I could agree with that. Adam, what's your idea on it? How do you feel?
Yeah, I already said it before, but I guess I don't mind repeating myself. I would say I could choose so many guys, but I'm going to go for my UK guy. Obviously, you know him as William Regal, yes. Stephen Regal. But yeah, I would choose him because, you know, he should have, I mean, he's been a great wrestler. I mean, now he's, NXT commentary here and there.
He's also doing scouting. He does scouting.
Scouting as well, yeah. He's been to Brazil, I think, a few months ago or something. But he's a great, like, as a technical wrestler, he's founded. He should have been, to me, the first British champion that won it, to me, or the British Bulldog, but I would say Regal more. But you know, they never really gave him the chance to be in the main event. Yeah, he won the King of the Ring, 2008, but where did it go after? That's it. He stopped. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Even the badass Billy Gunn won King of the Ring, so.
And where did it let you go, Billy? Oh yeah.
It didn't lead very far,
He ended up
unfortunately.
getting released eventually. But yeah, I would say to Regal he should have held the title at least once and had a run with it. Even
Yeah, you know.
a few years ago, I would have loved to see him maybe win the Money in Bank or something. That'd be sweet.
Even the world title would have been fine. You know?
Yeah, one of the time. Yeah.
I would be fine with that too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because he
We're
was
definitely
on his game. He was a really great heel as well. He played it really well.
Those damn brass knucks.
I love that. Yeah.
Third time that's strong too. Oh my god.
But yeah, but now he's an NXT commentator and scouting. Feel a bit disappointed, but that's how it is. So that's my view on it. I mean,
Yeah, that's definitely a constant. We're definitely on the same page when it comes to William Regal. I'm sure I could speak for all of us when I could say he's very technically sound in the ring. He's definitely underrated. He was definitely underutilized. Definitely a priority pick for a question like that. I thought that was a great answer, and you know, it didn't even really pop into my head until you mentioned it. So thank you for bringing it up.
yeah, no problem. I just come out when you said that question. Boom! It just had Regal in my head, and then second, I think it was Christian. But yeah.
So I remember when he debuted in World Wrestling Federation, he had the Steven Regal gimmick, and he man. Remember he came out to that song?
He's a real man's man.
You know, and he still worked well with the gimmick, just like present day, like Fandango does with his stupid gimmick, but he works it well.
He was a builder, kind of a builder.
Right.
Even when Regal was in WCW, he was decent in there too.
Yeah, you could.
I think he was partner with Dave Taylor.
WCW just didn't use him right. Like,
You know, if I had to break it down into past and present, you know, in my opinion, underrated, underutilized. If I had to come to the past, you know, I'm not saying they were the most underrated or underutilized guys. These are just the first guys that pop into my mind. I wouldn't say I favor them by any means, but for the past, I'd probably say, you know, Jake Roberts or, you know, Hart. And, you know, first thing that comes to mind with present is I'd probably have to steal Adam's pick and say William Regal. And But I won't. I won't say William Regal. I'll take my own
Yeah.
pick. Dolph Ziggler and Tyson Kidd.
Oh yeah, Tyson Kidd definitely.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Coming off a loss to Adrian Neville, he did get a push. They did have a great match, and so some people would say, well, how are you really going to call him underutilized if he just had a prime spot on NXT television airing on the WWE Network? Well, it's very easy. That's the first thing he's done in what years that's even been relevant. There's reasons behind me picking him as a candidate, but we'll go ahead. We'll jump into the next question unless you guys have any last thoughts.
I have one last thought. I would I'm gonna go past. I'm gonna say the one guy who I always thought should have been good. I don't know if you just mentioned it, but Owen Hart.
Yeah, I think Billy said that.
Owen Hart and Jake Roberts were passed. Yeah, Owen Hart.
Yeah, I said Owen Hart. Yeah.
Arguably, he was the baby face of the Hart family. He was the youngest of them all, and tragically, passed away in an accident gone wrong, and it's very unfortunate. I was actually a big Owen Hart fan, and enough is enough, and it's time for a change. I like that whole thing. I remember back watching when I was a couple years old, and they were doing the thing with Jason Sensation when he was very young, and he would come out there and he mimicked all the wrestlers. Owen Hart went out there, kicked his ass, and put him in a sharpshooter.
When he made fun of him when they were mocking the nation.
Yeah, that's when he was still in domination. He had the caution signs going across him, and I loved Owen Hart, and he was overshadowed by Brett. Brett really overshadowed.
I like Owen better than Brett. I wasn't really too much of a Brett fan.
No, me either. I never found what people liked about him.
Honestly, I'm a Bret Hart fan, but when it comes to Owen, it's really a toss-up. I can't say,
I like both of them, to be honest with you.
I never liked Brett.
Brett was definitely smoother in the ring and maybe executed better, but Owen had a far better moveset. He was far more expanded, well-rounded. That's just
He should have held the title, definitely.
Right? Because you look at guys like Jake Roberts, you look at guys like Roddy Piper. They've never been the marquee champion of the company, and these are guys that exceeded expectations and went out there every night and put on a show you wouldn't even believe if you paid for it. So it really is demoralizing to a talent of their caliber going out there and performing, knowing given whether you're humble or not, you're better than everybody else, and you're still not getting that opportunity. That could be a question of its own. A lot of these talents, they don't survive because they get knocked down the totem pole, and they have to build themselves back up. Just for example, Dolph Ziggler is doing it right now, and he's been rebuilding himself ever since the cash-in and the World Heavyweight title loss, and he's still doing it, and he's still going strong, and he still has the heart. And you're gonna knock me down, I'm gonna fire back 3 times harder. You're not gonna keep me down, and I love that mindset. And that's one of the things I admire with a talent like him.
Yeah.
Spot on.
So we'll jump into the next question real quick. Let me pull it up.
What about me? What about my question?
Oh yeah, I forgot you had one extra. Wow.
Tell me.
You're sounding stupid, Paul.
Say so exactly. You lost your memory, Paul.
No, man. I thought I had a picture earlier on when I think it was CM Styles said to say something smart, Paul. And
Nah, it's gone out of the window.
it's gone like that.
It's gone.
It's just like Undertaker's streak, so to speak. Just gone like that.
Yeah, well, you didn't even mention the streak. You didn't. I was a surprise, but anyway.
Yeah, we'll try to lay off the streak tonight. I know it hurts a lot of fans' feelings, as does it myself. But that's okay. That's a different story. We'll head into Adam. What's your last question?
Last question is from the page. Some fan said, "What the heck is AJ coming back? When is she scheduled coming back?" I think it's going to be I don't know if is she married to CM Punk yet? I don't know if that's.
No, the wedding hasn't happened yet.
No, so I'll say about after SummerSlam.
The wedding's planned for this month, so I don't know what date it is, but
I think after the summer. Actually.
Yeah, probably SummerSlam after their honeymoon or whatever.
Yeah.
Not just that, she asked for a little bit of time off too, so.
Exactly. I mean, she deserves it. She held the Divas title nearly a year, so.
I don't know. Let her have her time off. Let her relax. See how life is. They don't know how it is. They're on the road 24/7.
Yeah.
I mean, she didn't even have time off. This is like her first time she's actually having time off as
She
well.
hasn't had time off since she's been in WWE, since her debut.
No, she really hasn't. You could jump all the way back to, I believe it was WrestleMania 28, where Sheamus squashed Bryan in 18 seconds, where she kissed Bryan on the lips, and even before that she was working, and then before that she was in NXT, so, you know, she's been going very strong. She's determined. She has the heart. She's very young. The potential's there. She's already delivered in the Divas division. She already enhanced it. You know, if it weren't for her, you know, in the moment in time, I don't think the Divas division would even be relevant anymore. I don't think the title would be relevant anymore. And, you know, that's not me marking out or being biased. You know, some fans call her overrated. I wouldn't call her overrated. I just call her really, really good in a talent pool that's lackluster.
Well, she has the package.
It's not her fault. She outshines everybody. You know. But, no, I think she did well with her title run. I think she did well working on the microphone. She did in NXT.
Really good.
Nothing close to extraordinary in NXT on her mic skills. So when she returns and she's ready to fire back, and her and Paige go into their feud, and you know she has a rematch clause for the Divas title. She never took her back up on it. So you know I'm telling you right now, talk about relevancy. The Divas division is going to be on fire when they start feuding. And even now, since she's been gone, Alicia Fox, we've seen her in the ring more. We've seen Natalya getting more time.
Yeah.
And honestly, I'm all for it. It's very similar to what Punk leaving and Bryan getting time, all those other people getting opportunities that weren't afforded to them when those people were actually on a spot and had their own time. But what do you guys think about it? Who wants to go first? We'll jump to Billy.
Yeah, I see AJ Lee come back around SummerSlam time. Yeah, because that'll actually be a big match, Paige versus AJ at SummerSlam. That'll be a big match. I see it happening then.
Yeah, SummerSlam is a good time slot for her to return, considering all the engagements they have going on with the wedding and the honeymoon and however they're going to carry themselves through it. And, you know, anything could happen at the moment. And, you know, if I had to choose, honestly, I'd see her returning the night after Money in the Bank. Just a guess. Just a spontaneous guess. But we'll jump to Pierre. What's your decision?
She's going to return the month of SummerSlam just so they can set that up. Even though it's not going to be one of their marquee matches, but it's going to set them up to have a feud for the next month, maybe months after. Because there isn't, besides Alicia Fox, there isn't really anyone who is in the competition right now because Natalya is, for some reason, stuck in NXT, so she'll be back probably, like Billy said, the night after Money in the Bank, just so they can set that up.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it by any means. You know, I can't wait for her to return, and you know, it's a lot of fans just like the question. It's been a long-awaited thing, and people are harping on it. So we'll see how it plays out in the days to come and months to come. So, Adam, what's your take on it? How do you feel?
I agree with these guys. I'll say SummerSlam or just after the night of Money in Bank. But maybe even September you might see her because, you know, she deserves a long break. And when she comes back, I'm sure she wants a rematch for the Divas title with Paige. It'd be a great feud. But it could be match. I'm sure that match would be match of the year even. I predict it's going to be really good. And I know that Paige ain't the best talker, but she does all right. She's doing all right. She's improving. But AJ obviously has everything, you know, so it's looking good. But, you know, if you said Natalya's stuck in NXT, I think now she's going to be more on the main roster now. So, unless she's going to get a rematch for Charlotte. Yeah. That's pretty much it with me. Yeah,
That's a good answer, because it honestly leads to our next question from my buddy Larry, is when will Natalya be getting more TV time? You know, I, for one, completely agree. I think she deserves it, and ever since her match with Charlotte, she's had a little bit of an attitude, a little bit of a chip on her shoulder, something she so desperately needs. Just like Cody Rhodes, if they do go into that program with Goldust, that chip on that shoulder, that attitude, something we haven't seen before. He needs to put that on. This needs to be his A game. This is the time where Natalya and Cody Rhodes, I'm going to break it down into one big question, they need to perform, and this is their opportunity. So when the time comes, you know, let's hope they execute, because if not, who knows if they're going to get that second chance, because they've had many chances before. And, you know, one thing those two have always been is, you know, Mr. Nice Guy.
Yeah.
No matter how much talent you have, Mr. Nice Guy's not going to cut it, unless you're Mick Foley, and you're going to fall off a 30-foot fucking steel cage.
Yeah, that's
Prince Devitt says, no more Mr. Nice Guy. You know, you go out there and you take this. This is yours to take. You go out there with that attitude, and I guarantee you it'll get you farther than ever. Stop being Mr. Nice Guy, because people are going to walk all over you, and they're both talented, so I'm big fans of both of them. What do you guys think as far as Natalya? If you want to throw Cody Rhodes into the mix, go ahead. We'll start with Piero.
I think after that match she had with Charlotte, she'll be back up there just because of the That match was actually really good in my opinion, so I believe she'll be back up soon whenever either she's gonna feud with Paige or somehow with Alicia Fox. Because as of right now, there's only, honestly, including Natalia, there's only 3 divas that actually even are relevant that are good. Because I mean, they keep trying to throw Xana in the mix, but
Yeah, she's good. Oh.
but it's just those 3 right now. So somehow she'll feud with one of them for the next like couple months or month.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. That's good. I like it. What about you, Billy?
Honestly, I see Natalia probably getting back on the main roster, start wrestling more matches probably soon. I think we saw her on what, SmackDown? Yeah, she wrestled a match, so I don't know. I see her slowly getting back onto the main roster with more matches. As for Cody Rhodes, maybe after his feud with Goldust that he's gonna be having soon.
Yeah, it's really it's more likely than not. I wouldn't say she really left the main roster. I think they just brought her down to NXT to be a credible opponent for Charlotte for when she does win her title. Because that's going to go down in the record books as Charlotte defeated Natalia Hart for the women's NXT women's title, and that's what they wanted to look like. They wanted to be that credible opponent, getting her to the title to give her that momentum, to give her that that big push to success that she's going to get. And she's obviously most likely going to be the next diva to head to the main roster, and followed right behind. Should have been first as far as ability goes and how she carries herself, but that's all right. What about you, Adam?
Yeah, Charlotte. Yeah, about Natalia. She's gonna be now back to the main roster. She wants that rematch with Charlotte still, so maybe that's gonna happen. So she might go back to NXT. She will lose probably Charlotte, but then come back to the main roster, have more matches. Then hopefully get mixed with Paige for the Divas title. As you said, Paul, she's starting to have a little bit of an attitude, which is something. She's a great wrestler, but there's something missing about her. She didn't have the attitude. She was a bit dull for me. I think she was just too soft, too nice. She wasn't aggressive, in the matches. So which I like, but she wasn't doing that. So hopefully it will change, and I'm sure she will have a feud with Paige down the line, maybe as a heel. Which I think she should turn as a heel. Yeah. But with Cody Rhodes, I mean, I think, as you said, hopefully after he has his match with Goldust eventually, I think he's going to be heel. We've seen. After that, hopefully he will go now to the main event. The main event is where he should be. He tried so hard for years. Last year he was so close to winning that Money in the Bank, but Sandow pushed him over the ladder. We know what happened there. But I think Cody Rhodes deserves it, and I would like to see him in the Money in the Bank. And hell, if he wins it, that'd be great. Guy can go. I think he was a great heel when he was a heel. I think he did a great job, and when he was the IC champion as well. He brought the classic title back, which was pretty awesome. So, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Cody Rhodes is definitely a realistic selection for the Money in the Bank match, and I would like to see him in there. Whether he loses or not, he's definitely going to up the ante for as far as quality goes in the match. But
he could steal the show. I mean, he did that last year.
Yeah.
Money in the Bank. So.
It's really out there. You got 7 guys in a ring. Who's going to steal the show really is dictated upon who's going to put their body on the line and who's going to fucking go balls to the walls. So. I'm into. That's why I love Money in the Bank so much. It's so unpredictable. Anything can happen. There's ladders. There's a title, there's a briefcase hanging from the top of the ring. It's just everyone's just scraping and clawing just for that opportunity at the WWE World Heavyweight Title. Whether Daniel Bryan's going to be holding it or not is another story. But we'll go ahead. We'll jump into the next question really quick. You guys, let me just pull it up. Did everyone get their take on that?
Yeah, well, I had my say.
Kira, Billy, you guys talked. Yeah. Maybe Chow.
Yeah.
You guys good? All right.
Keep going. Go on.
I have to admit, I'm not even going to mention the person's name because it's kind of controversial. It's not controversial, actually. It has nothing to do with who you think I'm thinking of, but
All right.
nothing like that. No.
So why you couldn't say his name?
Huge wrestling fan, loved it since I was 8 years old. And I watch Japan. I watch Pro Wrestling Guerrilla. He watches pretty much all independent wrestling along with mainstream wrestling, and he wants to know why people. Why are you so behind Sami Zayn? He thinks Sami Zayn is overrated.
What?
I couldn't even read the question right. See, I was like stuttering. It's just like okay, I mean, that is your opinion. So I'm not gonna back it. Sure, I could say the same thing for some wrestlers that you like. I'm not gonna start with this. I feel like I should end with it. So who wants to go first? Raise of hands.
Me. No.
All right, Pierre's got the New York Giants tattoo on his arm. So he can go first. Giants never get to go first.
Who cares about Giants?
Go ahead, Pierre. What's your take, buddy?
I don't know what are Giants anyway. They're basketball team. I don't even know.
No, they're Frisbee.
Alright.
No, it's Frisbee.
Field hockey.
Hockey, is it baseball? Yeah.
Do you think Sami Zayn's underrated? Is he overrated? Is he? What is he?
He's underrated.
Underrated.
Okay.
He's underrated just in the fact that no one knows. If you don't watch indie wrestling, no one really knows who he is. Especially because he was wearing a mask when he was in Ring of Honor.
As far as the internet fans go, he does have exposure and he is relevant with them. They do know the name Sami Zayn. They do know who El Generico is and what he's done in the indie scene, what he's done in Ring of Honor, what he's done in Pro Wrestling Guerrilla, etc. I could go on for hours talking to myself. But as far as mainstream fan goes, the main roster, and you gotta admit, even a lot of the main roster fans, whether you have a WWE network or not, do not tune into NXT Takeover. And it was only the most watched show for, I believe, one day on the WWE Network, which seemed pretty ironic to me. I thought it would have been a little bit bigger, but no, we'll go ahead. We'll go to Adam. What do you think? Is he underrated? Is he overrated? Is he right in the middle? Is he neutral? What's your take?
Well, I can't believe he said he's overrated. I mean, what kind of question is that, to be honest with you? I know that's his opinion, but I so strongly disagree. He's not overrated. I mean, has he not seen his matches in the indie scene as El Generico?
Well, no, I pointed that out at the beginning, that he does watch Japan, he watches Ring of Honor, he's seen Pro Wrestling.
Well, he must have been blind, or he needs eyes testing, because he hasn't seen how matches he's done in indies, and if he watches NXT, he steals the show, like, all the time. Put a great match with Tyler Breeze. I mean...
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, and he has some good matches as well, with I think Corey Graves at one time as well. So he can wrestle, he can perform any match. Every match he's in the ring, he's going to perform as hard, and he's always going to have great matches. He reminds me of Daniel Bryan. He doesn't have a bad match to me. So.
Or the Shield.
The Shield, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Of course, like Seth Rollins, yes, and Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose. But yeah, he's not overrated. But he's definitely underrated, I would say. But if nobody knows him, they should check him out on YouTube, check his videos, or watch NXT, and you will say he's not overrated. But I can see him. He's going to be in the main roster, I think, after SummerSlam. So.
If you guys saw the interview with Chris Hero a couple months after he left WWE television, he was sitting, I don't know if it was ringside or backstage, watching the 2 out of 3 falls match between Cesaro and Sami Zayn, and they were talking during the match, watching it, and Sami Zayn went and he did the dive through the turnbuckle to the tornado DDT, and right when that happened, Paul Heyman stopped mid-sentence, and he didn't say a word for the rest of the match. And for a guy like that, to shut up Paul Heyman means a lot. Yeah. I don't care what anyone says. If you can,
and his face expressions as well. Yeah.
Either you gave him $1 million, or you did something just completely unheard of, and that's exactly what Sami Zayn did. And the guy has heart, he has dedication, he has everything it takes to make it in this business. But enough about me. More about Doc Gallows. What do you think, Billy?
I think he's underrated. He was good. He was good in the Indies and good in WWE. I mean, for God's sakes, fucking Steen. He put over Kevin Steen a whole bunch of times. So, the guy can put people over. He's a good wrestler. He's good in the ring. He never had a bad match ever. All the matches I've watched, even when he was that was in there were all pretty impressive to me. So
Yeah, sure. Like, whenever I show someone, Generico's matches or Sami Zayn's matches, someone that's never seen him before, and they see the moves he pulls off and in the fashion he does it in, they're just like, whoa, how have I not heard of this guy? Like, look at what he's doing in there. And it's just like, believe it or not, like it or not, this guy is pound for pound one of the best wrestlers in the world. And I've gone on record before, and I'll say it again.
He's been world champion in every promotion he's been in.
Yeah. You could even go back to like classic feuds like he's had with like Kevin Steen and stuff like that, and it's great work. And everything flows. They have good chemistry, and I can't even honestly say I've seen Sami Zayn or El Generico have bad chemistry with anybody in the ring. He always goes out there and steals a show, and like I said before, he has the heart, the determination, and he's exactly what you need to make in this business. He has all the skills. But any last thoughts on that, guys? I believe Sami Zayn is well positioned, and there's a lot more to come from him. He's not overrated, and he's not underrated.
Not overrated at all.
Yeah, I was going to say two things that I forgot to say. Of course, he had two great matches with Cesaro and NXT. So if you missed that, to fans, you can check on YouTube or like a website and watch those two matches because they were great matches as well. And you said about Kevin Steen, that was a feud of the year. Apparently, he was awarded feud of the year.
2012.
Yeah. So that tells it all, really. So he's not overrated.
The ladders.
Yeah, that was good too.
She wants Specsavers, dude.
Ladder war, dude. That was just, whew, that was epic.
She wants Specsavers, but yeah.
Anything else from you, Piero, Adam, Billy?
Nothing.
Nothing else?
I'm good.
The next question.
Yeah.
My favorite question so far. I have one left after that. Maybe we'll cover a couple of quick rumors if we have the time. But person has to be nameless. I don't know why, because it's actually a really good question, but that's okay. Oh, all right. If you guys look back to Evolution, when Evolution first got started, the originals, you had Hunter, you had Batista, you had Orton, and you had Flair, and eventually Orton became the spotlight, and he outshined Triple H, and he outshined Evolution, and he was getting fans behind him. And what happened? They turned on him. Is it possible? Here's the question: is it possible in the future Triple H and Randy Orton, or whoever Evolution consists of, will turn on Seth Rollins for outshining them?
That's what I thought. Yeah. Should I go first? Or?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was thought about this a couple of days ago, actually. They put it up. I thought myself, Triple H is like Ric Flair's role, and Randy Orton's more like a Triple H role, and then you have Seth Rollins having Young Gun. He's like Randy Orton at the time. He's so in his ring appearance and how he has style. So, because he still shows, he does great matches, and eventually he will win the world title, and then I think they're gonna Randy Orton's gonna be jealous of how much success he's got, and even you could say in the ring he could say he's better than him.
I honestly couldn't agree more. He's way better than him. So.
He's way better, so he's going to be jealous, and then that's when they're going to turn on him. So I think when he wins the world title, I think they are going to do what they did to Randy Orton 10 years ago. So I expect that to happen. I think they're going to turn on Seth Rollins, and he's going to turn face again.
A lot of people question whether not Reigns, but more of Rollins and Ambrose. I don't think these guys are main eventers. They don't have what it takes, or they're not what it takes to make a main eventer. And in my opinion, sometime in all three of their tenures with WWE, they're all going to have fun. I believe all of them will be future WWE World Heavyweight Champions in their own right. But we'll jump over to Piero. Adam, you had your final say?
Yeah, that's really it.
I want to throw out one quick thing. The Evolution idea, I think it would have been better with Mark Jindrak, not Randy Orton. That's end of that. Let's say it does happen. He does win the world title. Randy Orton will not be pissed that he won the world title. Randy Orton will be pissed how obsessed Triple H has gotten with Seth Rollins getting back at the Shield. He's going to make Seth Rollins hate the Shield. He's going to make Seth Rollins fight the Shield. He's going to make Seth Rollins walk over the Shield. Randy Orton's going to be pissed at Triple H more than Seth Rollins, because Triple H is going to have him is not going to focus on any of the goals that Randy Orton wants to set. Randy Orton's not going to become champion. Randy Orton's not going to win this. He's not going to win that. So I believe he will turn on Evolution, but he will turn on Triple H more than Seth Rollins.
Yeah, maybe that could be the possible face turn that we were talking about earlier from the question earlier, and it is possible, and we did see Triple H and Orton before, and that was they had WrestleMania, they had their spot. It went on after Shawn Michaels versus Undertaker, and unfortunately they did have a good match, but the crowd was completely exhausted, and Undertaker versus HBK completely wore them out. That was a 5-star match in my opinion, so they weren't as much behind it as they should have been. But that's okay. I thought they still had a good match, and that it could lead to a possible face turn or a heel turn, vice versa, however you want to work it in the future. What is your take on it, Billy? How do you feel?
I honestly think history is going to repeat itself. So I think they're going to get jealous once Rollins wins the WWE World Heavyweight title and probably turn on him, because Orton's going to have a big ego and want those titles. So he's going to probably try to start something with him. And then it's just going to turn on Seth Rollins probably later on, say a couple of 4 or 5 months.
Yeah, if anything, as a wrestling fan, and the way WWE does work, if you follow their pattern and storylines and heel turns and etc., you could plan on them turning on Seth Rollins without a doubt about it. It's not them turning on him is what I'm worried about. It's how they're going to turn on him and how it's going to go down, how they're going to deliver it to the fans, and it's almost a given that Seth Rollins will eventually get turned on for outshining, but where the direction they're going to go in afterwards is up in the air. It's anything could happen. It's one of those things where you just need to sit back and wait for it to happen. But
yeah.
Anyone else? You guys got your takes in on it?
That's it.
That's it, really. I mean, he's going to have the spotlight, and Randy Orton's not going to be overshadowed, really. And that's when Randy's going to have, like you said, he's going to have ego. He's going to lose it. He's going to lose his cannon, and he's going to get fed up. And yeah, he might turn on Triple H, but I think, but he might attack Seth Rollins first. I think that's how. I think he's just going to do an RKO out of nowhere or something.
Could he be the new member of the Shield? Imagine that that would be crazy if they did a double turn in the same night. But
yeah, that would be crazy.
That would be crazy. And a lot of people wouldn't like it, but he would fit the mold that the Shield is.
Yeah.
Yeah. He has that.
He has the look. He has their ability. He has the reputation.
Yeah.
Come on, Orton's a sick dude. He used to be, at least. I think he would carry well. I think it would work out for him. I don't see it happening, but I think it would work if it did happen. But
it depends how they book it, of course. I don't want them to do what they did years ago when they did to Randy Orton. They turned on Randy Orton, didn't they? I don't want it to be the exact same, so it have to be different. So it's going to work.
You could have a great idea on paper, and then you do it in the ring, and it's like, well, what the fuck just happened? It doesn't, not everything's going to play out like you think it is. So that's why there is a lot of tweaks before shows, and a lot of indifference in which way they want to. Exactly. Yeah, it is hard to do because once you do it, it's on live TV and it's set in stone. So I'm sure there's a lot of thought process and decision making that goes behind it, without a doubt. But anything could happen with Randy Orton in the future. But we'll jump into the next question if you guys are all right.
Well, I actually have a question from C Double.
Go ahead.
See that? Yeah.
He just asked me a question. He said, "Do you think that Seth Rollins versus Sami Zayn could be a headliner for WrestleMania?"
What, next year? Next year, you mean?
No doubt about it. And you look at the caliber of both talents, the in-ring ability, the drive, the heart, the dedication. Seth Rollins is definitely improving on his promo skills. Sami Zayn is a little bit lower on the pecking order when it comes to that, but he'll get there. Time will tell, and he's one of those guys that he lets his ring work do the talking for him, and I have no problem with that at all. Because Daniel Bryan does the same thing, and it'll work out for him. Sami Zayn versus Seth Rollins, the spot fest in that match would just be insane. Like, who knows what we would see? Seth Rollins coming out of the rafters. Sami Zayn has a jetpack. Anything could go down with those two guys. Very athletic. Unfortunately, they've never wrestled each other before. So two of my favorite wrestlers going at it. So C Double, that's a great question, and I would definitely love to see it. I can't speak for them, but I'm sure they would agree. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, I'm all for it. I mean, I think they will steal the show. I think could be one of the best matches in WrestleMania history because they both be the first time as well. We've never seen them face each other in NXT or FCW, or so it would be great. It'd be a great feud. But I would say I would go with Seth Rollins being the heel and Sami Zayn being the face, because Sami Zayn cannot be a heel. He's too likable. He's too likable. You can't hate on it.
I don't know.
He could be a heel.
Nah. Yeah,
He played a heel as a Generico. Different gimmick, but he still played it well.
yeah. But they won't let him go and put a mask on.
You never
Well,
know.
they did one time in NXT, but that was like one off.
When he debuted, he had a mask on.
He defeated Bo Dallas for the #1 contender shot.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that wasn't in his mask, that was like El Loco's mask.
Well,
That wasn't his mask.
Still mask.
Yeah, still. That was a one-off, so don't get too excited, guys.
What do you guys think? Billy Piero, who wants to go first?
Oh, that sounds so convincing.
Yeah, it's a possibility. 5 years from now, maybe. That's it. Not anytime soon.
I don't. 5 years is a bit too long, I would say, for that.
I could see it in the next 2.
It ain't gonna be this coming up.
No, I would say at least 3 years. 2
I'll be
years.
realistic then. 2-3 years it'll happen. Just Seth Rollins is already could WrestleMania. He's the star of it. But Sami Zayn hasn't even debuted yet, so he would have a lot to do before he can even get to that point. So I'll say like 3 years is the most maybe that could happen. Possibility.
Yeah, because he's going to debut after the summer. I think Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
And he could be this new Shield member, so hey.
It's one of the realistic decisions that a lot of people are pointing out. Hey, it can be Sami Zayn. I don't know. I want it to be him, and it is possible. But the transition, talents are making now from developmental onto the main roster. We have the Shield, we have the Wyatt family, we got, freaking fucking Lemon Boy, and we have Bo Dallas as well, and
Lemon.
Lemons.
notice it. Now you have Adrian Neville, Sami Zayn, Tyler Breeze, guys like that on top, and you have guys like Prince Devitt and Kenta. They're looking at Roderick Strong, big names coming in to fill that mold when those guys get called up. So I see Sami Zayn, even maybe Adrian Neville, considering he has a lengthy title run, which I think he will, getting called up to the main roster by the end of this year. And realistically, I think Sami Zayn versus Seth Rollins is definitely a possible match. You look at the characteristics of the two of them, and putting them together in a 20-by-20 ring with 20,000 fans, or whether it be WrestleMania and 80,000 fans, I think it'll sell out arenas just as far as match quality goes.
Yeah, because this year's WrestleMania is reserved for one person only.
Yeah, Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
Like it or not, that guy fucking deserved it. Blue collar work ethic. He's a workhorse. Everything he does is just to the how do you say it? It's just like to the fullest extent you could possibly do something. Like
It's kind of screwed him in the end now that he has that neck problem.
Yeah.
We don't know if he's going to get stripped or not. We don't know it's going to be a Money in the Bank match.
I heard he doesn't have any feeling in his arm right now. He can't move it.
Sucks.
It's all a part of the rehabilitation process. When you have surgery on your neck, you have all those nerves connected to your tricep, to your shoulder, to your all that stuff flows together. So if something is bothered, it's gonna affect something else. It's a domino effect, to be short. But if you guys have any last say on that, we'll head into the next question. Last question.
All I gotta say, it's gonna be a great build up and a great match at WrestleMania for everyone.
You really would. I no doubt about it in my mind. Great question by C Double, Open Wrestling Talk. You guys check them out on Twitter, follow them on Facebook, wherever you want to look at them, check them out. But we'll head into the last question for tonight. Maybe we'll cover some rumors, maybe we won't. Last question of the night: is this the end of the John Cena Bray Wyatt feud? What do you see coming in the future? And I'm sorry, what do you see coming in the future?
Voice.
Yeah, I lost my voice. What do you see coming in the future as far as Bray Wyatt? Did it demoralize him, losing to John Cena? If this is the end of the feud, what's your take on it? Is it the end of the feud? Is it not? Did it hurt Bray Wyatt in the long run? If it is,
honestly, I don't see it's the end of the feud. I think they're gonna have one more match at Money in the Bank, and Did it hurt his career by losing to John Cena? A little bit, maybe. Kind of.
Mm.
The way that last man standing match finished was, that kind of was way too much. Like, he literally buried him.
Mm.
I think that was,
See, double won't like that.
I think that was too much of an ending.
Be careful what you say here about
It really is all about perception, because win or lose, either way, he's still going to get pushed, and he's still going to be a guy.
I see him become a top main eventer going for the WWE World Title. So.
Yeah.
To me, he resembles a guy that's bigger than the title, and even if the title is around him, he's still is going to evoke a reaction. He's still going to go out there every night and prove why he is one of the top tier talent in this industry. And coming from Husky Harris to Bray Wyatt is just a major transition for him. And I respect the hell out of it, and I think he's done incredible, phenomenal with it. And I've gone on record before, and like I said, the IWC could put me on a guillotine for this and chop my head off, but I said it before, I'll say it again. He's the most consistent promo of all time. But that's a relevant moment. What do you guys think? We'll head to Adam.
Yeah. Do I think the feud will end? Cena and Bray Wyatt? No, I think hopefully not. But it'd be nice to see it carry on the feud. I would say Money in the Bank or even SummerSlam. I mean, just have. I think Bray Wyatt's now lost twice to Cena, and Cena
2-1 Cena right now.
Yes, so he beat Cena, but it was kind of got help from Little Johnny. I mean, that was pretty pathetic. That was a bad match. But I mean, if they're having like Money in the Bank, you would think Bray would win, and that put him over. Cena should put him over. Not hating on the guy, but he doesn't. I'm gonna say again. He double won't like this, but he doesn't put people over as he should have. More consistently. It's time to put some young guys over. Yeah, you put Daniel Bryan, but when was that? It was SummerSlam. He was half injured. It was 100. It wasn't 100%. That was ages ago. I mean, that's nearly a year ago. So he should put Bray Wyatt over, because Bray Wyatt, as you said, he's great on the mic. He doesn't have a bad promo. He's always consistent. He's great he's proved so much in the ring. He's really good, and really, I think he'll be one to watch in the future. I think he could have a great future and be top heel, to be honest with you. So yeah, I'm looking forward, and I hope it isn't the end of the John Cena and Bray Wyatt feud, because if it is, I would say it has hurt him. It wouldn't bury him, but it has affected him. It would affect him. But as you said, the crowd is into him. He's over. So that's what I've got to say really about that. So, yeah.
All right, we'll swing the proverbial bat to Piero. What do you think about it?
I don't think it's over, but it's not going to be long anymore. It might end at Money in the Bank. It might end tomorrow on Raw. Like he said, he was rejoiced. He's new, so we'll see if he's more deceivious, if he's less deceivious, see if he's breaking away, gaining more followers. But I don't see the feud lasting the whole year. But maybe till Money in the Bank at least. And if Bray Wyatt wins, then I guess he'll have to last one more pay-per-view just to see who's better. But yeah, he needs to. I mean, Cena's like the name in wrestling right now, so it's a good feud for him. But he needs to feud with someone who is on his level with talking, and that's not so annoying. And it's just him feuding with Cena. It's like, all right, Cena won. What's that prove for you? Nothing. It does nothing for your character. So I just think he needs a new person to feud with, someone that will. He not per se put him over, but will actually have a good match with him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a good answer. I can agree with that for the most part. And when you look at it, I can go back and throw out statistics out there. And if you look at the year of 2013, and C-Double's gonna bash me for this one, but
He's gonna bash me anyways. And bash Billy.
believe it or not, let's CM Punk calling he wants to return. But heading back into the show.
Well, that's double actually, maybe giving you hate. Yeah.
But yeah, believe it or not, I might be a little off in the number, but Cena's win to loss ratio in the year 2013, live events, house shows, the whole 9 yards. He was about 140 something wins and like 5 losses, and out of those 5 losses, only one of them was clean, and that was to Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
See?
Let that resonate with the fans for a second, okay? I understand he is the marquee draw. He sells the most merchandise. He is the poster boy for the World Wrestling Entertainment. But you go back into history and you look at guys like The Rock and Austin. They were both, top draws too in their own right. And one would win, the other would lose. The other would win, and the other would lose. And it vice versa went back and forth. And they played off of each other as hey, I'm not the best. We're both the best. And we're both going to get over each other one day or another, and that's what I really liked about it. There was the unpredictability value, and there was the shock value, and WWE's been doing a lot better with that, in my opinion, in recent months since WrestleMania 30 and even a little bit prior. But Cena does need to. I agree. He does need to put people over a tiny bit more. I don't have a problem with him like most fans do. I'm not a fan of him, no, but I don't hate him. I don't dislike him. I think he makes me laugh sometimes. He does humor me, and he does do a good job, and I understand why kids like him. I understand why he appeals to that demographic and that audience, without a doubt. So
it's not for adults what he does, but yeah, it's more for the kids. But he does, as you said, he when he's serious, he can cut a good promo.
Puts me to sleep.
When he does the comedy act, yeah.
Yeah, it puts me to sleep. I just go somewhere else for a little bit.
But it does make me laugh.
Sorry, I just can't get into promo because they seem the same every fucking time for the last 10 whatever years they've been here.
It's for the fans, the people.
Yeah.
The people came to see you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. That. Yeah, but we're not fans of him, I don't think. But it seems like Paul is frozen. Here, Paul.
Oh,
Maybe
we lost Paul. We lost him.
We're not near the end of the show, guys, and we lost. Maybe more. He's the host. So what does that mean? Does I come back to being a host now? Taking over now. You can get out of my way, Paul. Let the best in the world take over from now. Okay. So since I think we finished the questions, unless he's going to come back. We want to talk about some rumors, guys. Some WWE thoughts rumors. If you have any right now, go ahead. We can do 1 or 2.
Numbers?
Yeah.
A rumor I read yesterday was Seth Rollins versus Dean Ambrose at Money in the Bank, and Roman Reigns versus Orton at Money in the Bank.
That's cool.
And then possible Reigns and Triple H as
SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's been a few months. That was last month as well. Yeah, I'm all for that. That'd be probably the main event of SummerSlam, which is good.
Yeah, I'm all forward for Seth Rollins versus Dean at Money in the Bank. That'd be actually a really good match.
Yeah.
They have really good spots in that match.
Definitely.
Yeah, that would be a great.
But you would want Seth Rollins in the Money in the Bank though.
Maybe they might do 2 roles. We don't know.
Yeah, maybe. Could happen.
Could
be double duty.
They pulled that off. They pulled that off before. They announced somebody else.
Dolph Ziggler, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm all for that. I think there was another rumor. I think this was yesterday's. Or Rusev versus Mark Henry is discussed for the Money in the Bank for a match. So maybe we're going to see a Rusev versus Mark Henry feud. So I don't know if would you guys like to see that, or you don't really care much?
It wouldn't do anything for me. I'd care less.
I mean, it's 2 beasts, you can say. I don't think the match will be wow, but you just put it over for Rusev, really, pretty much.
Yeah.
Being a guy like Mark Henry, former world champion, he's going to be in that list of R-Truth and Xavier Woods and that.
Pretty much. That's really it.
Yeah. Really, as you said, there wasn't much details today. Rumours much today. Really, it was more yesterday, to be honest with you. So there was another one. I think it was today. Even something about as this morning the script for tomorrow's Raw. It's not financed at one point, but there's 2 Money in the Bank qualifying match planned. So we're going to see 2 Money in the Bank matches, qualifying matches tomorrow on Raw. We don't know who it'd be. I'm guessing it'd be maybe Kofi Kingston in the mix, Seth Rollins perhaps, maybe Orton as well. So something like that. So yeah, there's no. Can you close the show for me? Okay. Yeah, Paul just messaged me. He said that his computer's gone walkabout, and he says that I have to close the show, so I've taken over now as the host for a bit. So, but that's it really about the rumor about about Mark. Was it about the script qualifying match plans for tomorrow? So, unless you've got any other rumor, we're gonna close the show, guys.
I just have a couple things to announce.
If you want to do a plug-in, so I'll go with.
I want to plug in one Twitter page that I was just looking at.
Go ahead, Peter.
It's at Heyman Hustle. It's the best Twitter page out there. It's the Twitter page of the man behind the man who destroyed Undertaker's undefeated streak. So yeah, check that one out.
Fortunately, Paul can't say it tonight. I'm sure he wanted to say it at the end, but.
And I want to throw out a nice happy birthday to one of my all-time favorites, Tatanka.
Tatanka. Okay. Yeah, it was his birthday today. Yeah.
We were just talking about him yesterday. That's the funny part.
Really?
The old Native American Tatanka.
Tatanka, yeah, he had a little run. I think in 2005 he came back. I think he was in SmackDown.
Came back at the Rumble. Well, I became a fan of him because I've been watching since I have the network. I've been watching a lot of wrestling from the
WWF.
His little voiceover thing for him. That was funny.
When he came back in the Rumble.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, but yeah, if you want to go now, Billy, with your plug-in,
Oh yeah, you can follow me at RickWall860. You guys can actually watch me on another podcast I do. Open Wrestling Talk. I'm on there too. On Mondays and Fridays. And I have an announcement. CCW wrestler Alexander James. We're going to be doing an interview with him on June 18th.
Yep. Wasn't it on your another broadcast? Was it Destroy Kayfabe?
Yeah, Destroying Kayfabe too. I'm on too. So many I can't remember them all. Sorry.
I got one more thing.
It's alright, okay. So yeah, go back to Piro.
I just want to just got my message back from my interviewee over Headbanger Thrasher. I just want to pick up what Paul said. It's going to be the same date, but it's going to be at 6 o'clock on the podcast. He just messaged me and said that he can't do 7, he can do 6. So it'll be July 12th, 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock, yeah. In American time, obviously.
Absolutely, Eastern time, yes.
Yeah. So it won't be from the UK. It'll be here, 11 o'clock p.m. in UK time. If any British fans out there, if you want to check it out, you should not miss it because it's going to be a hell of an interview.
And even if you can't make it, it'll be on YouTube, so you can check it out anytime. It's going to be a good interview. We're going to get to the bottom of what he's done, how he's doing now, what his thoughts are on the current stuff.
Products, and
it's going to be a good interview. It's going to be the first of many in this podcast.
Exactly. We got not him. We got many guests, former WF guys, WC guys, maybe TNA guys.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get some more guys actually. So.
And even indie guys can be on the show. So
I'm gonna try to get some indie guys. So.
Yeah. So
we're just trying. I've been trying hard, and this guy's been messaging me back, so he's good. He's gonna be on the show. So.
That's cool. Yeah, we're looking forward. So yeah, you guys will be on it, of course, and Paul. So Really good. So I'm just going to plug my thing, PWF. So you can like us on Facebook at Broadcast Wrestling Fallout. You can see all our shows, our old shows, and our new one will be uploaded there. And of course, same on Twitter at PWF is War, which we do the same. And you can join our group, Facebook group, which you can ask questions, discuss about WWE, TNA, Ring of Honor, Japan, any wrestling promotion. Which is Broadcast Wrestling Fallout as well. So join that group. And of course, you should know, if you haven't, click that button now. Click that subscribe button now, because you'll be disappointed to miss our thoughts on wrestling, our reviews, our questions. We answer your questions and thoughts and rumors, and of course our interview, which will be July 12th as well, which is 6 o'clock Eastern Time, which is one of the former tag team champions, WF, Headbanger, Thrasher. So that's really it, guys. So I hope everybody enjoyed the show. Like us, share us, and from the PWF team, we are out.
Everyone bowling.